So, hello guys, welcome to Network Pigna. And basically, our today's topic is about planes. Planes means there are three types of planes, which was startup plane, control plane, management plane. And those planes we are like by default it is using in our networking stuff or security stuff. Means our nodes like switching, routing, firewalls. Okay. So basically, this blog I created and there are various things like related to hardware as well, but this is the basic video, so we'll learn mostly on about on these type of things. If you want to go through more in advance, so you can also watch this blog. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's start. As I already told you, there are three types of things. So let's first understand about the management plane. What about the management plane do you know? Like the management team basically it is responsible for device management and configuration operations basically. Just suppose we are configuring or we are writing some kind of like if we are configuring something like hosting, the routing protocols, the switching part on Airflow, etc. How we can access those things through the GUI mode, through the CLI like SSH console, through the API automation nowadays. If we go in a firewall stuff like Palo Alto firewall, then the Panorama is an option. So what about the responsibilities of the management team? As we can understand, as I already told you, like the configuration changes, like we are creating some security policies, like the log management, like the software upgrades, iOS, we are upgrading, like the administration, authentication, and then committing operations or communication with Panorama. All these stuffs are the responsibilities of the management team. And what about the important process running on the management team? Like there are internal processes include about the device management. As I already told you, these are the internal process like login services, commit process, the configuration database, device management, and these are the process we are configuring something like in a Palo Alto private. When we are changes, then we have to commit that process. So after changes configuration, we have to management validates those configurations. Their issue and depend like when we are configuring something, if we done wrong command, then there will be no use of that command. That's why they will check on the management ping, and then the operation will be committed. After that, the configuration pushes to the data plane. About the interviews questions, does the management team process traffic? The answer is no. Management team does not process user traffic. It only handles, as I already told you before, administrative operations, configuration management, device monitoring, or logging. Okay. Suppose the interview asks like, when management team is used. So we can tell those things to that interview, like admin logs in the firewall, security policy when he's creating. Unit rules are configured, something we are configuring, like software updates occur, logs are removed, configuration commits are executed. So these are the like things we can do management plane. Now our second plane is what? The control plane. So what about the control plane? Basically, the control plane is responsible for the network intelligence and routing decisions. We can say that this is our mind. So basically, the control plane is the mind. It will take the decisions on behalf of those configurations we assign to the management plane in our router, switching, or firewall, like the routing protocols, like the switching L2 protocols, and for those stuff. And the important thing is here, The control plane does not forward packets directly. Please remember that. The control plane does not forward packets directly. Packet forwarding is handled by basically the data plane. Basically, the control plane determines where packets should go in the network. Means, as you can understand from this line, where packets should go. Means it will take the decision. It will store the routes for specific destination. Those are, suppose in the routing table, there are 3 routes for the same destination. So it will choose through the ID value, through the, we can say that metric, through the cost. So it will decide. There are 2 things in here, rib and fib. We will talk about later, okay? So about the responsibilities of the control plane, the control plane performs run routing protocols, maintaining routing table, as I already told you, network topology discover, building forwarding tables, table management. Routing protocols in the control planes, OSPF, PGP, RIP, static out. These are all the routing protocols. And these routing protocols update the RIB, routing information piece. Now let's understand about the, basically it contains all known routes in the network, as I already told you. Suppose there are 3, 4, some extra routes to a single destination. So it will store a RIB, routing information piece, okay? And from the RIB, about the firewall selects the best route based on the metrics such as level to AD value, cost metric, routing priority. And now, when RIB selects from those metrics, then it will send the best route selection to the FIB. The forwarding information base is then installed in the data link. Now the best route of all those of all those routes, there is a one best route. This route is in FIB table. Now the FIB table is in the data plane. So the data plane check the FIB table, what is the best route, and then it will go from there. And what about the difference between the RIB and the FIB? Basically, a RIB is stored all the routing information, all those routes, the paths. What about the FIB? It will store only the best route for used packet forwarding. Now the data plane, the third thing, and our last thing. The data plane basically is responsible for processing and forwarding network traffic. Our data going from A place to B place. So the data plane is behind that for forwarding the traffic. But suppose how A place know or node know about from where to go, means about the route or routing decision or the mind, that will control by the control plane. And when we are configuring something, that was the management plane, okay? And about the key responsibilities of the data plane, basically the data plane performs packet forwarding, security policy informants, net translation. It is not like we are configuring the net, it's a translation from public to private or private to public. Application identification, threat inspection, session tracking. It will basically in the firewall. Is all in the firewalls. Inside the data plane, as I told you, the firewall performs advanced inspection technologies such as App ID, Content ID, User ID, SSL decryption, threat prevention, and all this. Okay. And about the hardware's knowledge, you can check this blog. Those, I think this video will be long. That's why. And as I already told you about the RIB and the FIB, FIB is basically forwarding information base. It's just a definition. It will optimize routing table used for packet forwarding. It contains only the best route selected from the RIB. Okay. So if the firewall use if there is question occur like Wi-Fi exists because the firewall use the entire routing table for every packet lookup. So the packet forwarding would become very slow. To improve the performance, the firewall basically follow this process. First, to install all the routes and routing table, RIP and best route selector. Then it will be going to fib and then data place uses that path from the fib to go from place A to place B. Okay. So this is all about our twins, like the management thing, the control thing, and about the data plane. I hope you all like this video. And if there is any issue, if I tell you something wrong, because I'm also in a learning phase, I'm also a student just like you. I'm not a professional means I'm working in networking as a networking guide, but I'm not in expertise or something. I'm just right now learning Palo Alto Palo. So that's how I created this video. That's about it. If you feel like I'm telling you, please comment it down, okay? Because which was also helping. And thank you for this video. Have a nice day. Thank you all.